Hello, Uranium friends. We are back with episode 12 of Uranium Talk, talking all things uranium. I am Jungle Funk from the Chart Guys here with Chris Red Devil. Chris, how you doing?
Joe, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. It was
Uh,
a good week of trading across the market, and obviously, very impressive recovery in the uranium space after a couple bearish days there. So you love to see it.
yeah, I think I got a couple stop hunts, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, part of the game. You hate to see it, hate when it happens, but risk management is our top priority as active traders, and sometimes that's how it goes. What do
So
we
check
got?
this out.
Yeah, lay it on me.
We talked about Paladin last week on the last episode. So they did have some news this week. They announced that they contracted 3.4 million pounds of uranium to China. I think it's under an existing agreement that they had already. Interestingly enough, it is a lot of these contracts for, like CCJ, they make these contracts where there's floors and ceilings on according to price, but Powden didn't do that. They're just adding 3.4 million pounds with China, and it's a spot price based contract.
Interesting.
So they're going to be required to be delivering pounds in 2024 and 2025 is where these contracts are kind of set for. So interesting to see that they did it on spot price alone.
Yeah, that is interesting. And also reminder, China, they have like what, 300 plus reactors scheduled to be built.
Yeah, they're building like crazy, dude.
Right on. Love to see it.
Yeah. So the next nice little thing was SMR, New Scale, right? So New Scale got regulatory approval for their small modular reactor design by the United States. So um, that's also pretty good news for this company as well.
And it comes in an interesting time in the chart because obviously looking here on the monthly chart of SMR, it has come way off of the top. But here we are back down at the 887 support down there, and we are looking for a monthly high or low. We got a monthly stair step of a lower high every monthly candle. And when that pattern breaks, there's a lot of room to the upside to look for an eventual monthly lower high. So when we
Yeah, and
zoom in.
it took out that weekly stair step too. Yeah, you got the chart up now. Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah. So looking at the weekly here now, ultimately when we broke below 1031, there wasn't much acceptance down below as bulls defended all-time lows here. We got a decent bounce off of the lows, and now what will be needed if bulls want to get that monthly bounce underway is to hold this 960 and then come back up and break this little 1119 tweezer top there, if you want to call it that. So
Yeah, how much of
based
a double top is that? How close are they on double tops there? We got
it's exactly 1119. Oh,
okay.
actually, it's both on this day. So this was where is that from? We'll go back to the weekly here. Oh, yeah. So the weekly candle rolled over on these days here. So it is just
Okay,
1119, and then we'll have 1124 after that. But essentially,
cool.
bulls looking to try to get in for this potential of a monthly bounce are looking to play off of this 960 low. So whether you want to scale in towards that with a stop below that, or you want to watch the daily lower high every candle pattern and make an aggressive entry when that pattern breaks. There's different ways to play it, but ultimately bulls are going to need to get back up and through this 1119 if they want to see this monthly bounce play out. So
Yeah, I'm in a half position there, and I'm gonna look to add the other half into that weekly low there, hopefully, and stop out if it doesn't work.
yeah, that's
But
the
we'll
the name
talk
of the
about
game
that
there.
when the time comes and that trade actually presents itself. I'll post up in the room that I've made that entry. So Encore Energy, they got their uplisting, so they will be
Right on.
trading tomorrow uh, under the ticker symbol EU on the New York Stock Exchange American. So American isn't, it isn't the New York Stock Exchange, but it's close. We like it. And, you know, it could end up getting an option chain, but either way, it's a big board. and it's gonna hook us up with more liquidity, and hopefully some more dollar volume will come into the space, into that name with this higher listing. So we'll see how that plays out as time goes on, but good sign, right? This is
Yeah,
one of those companies that actually, announced that reverse split, and for the reason of the uplist, and it actually happened. So
yeah.
we
You,
often see guys do reverse splits and for the purpose of uplisting, and sometimes you just never see the uplisting. But this one, it happened. So kudos
nice.
to Encore, and we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people Encore is one of their preferred fundamental horses in the game, and to see a name like that get off of the OTC just opens up a lot of opportunity because, like, I personally don't trade the OTC names because of liquidity and like have to pay fees on OTCs with TD Ameritrade. So it's nice to just see these guys come off of the OTC and join the big leagues.
Yeah. So Cameco CCJ once again, and we'll link this press release, webinar, conference call from the CEO. But 2022 saw 100 million pounds of purchase and contracting in the uranium space. CCJ had 77 million of those pounds for that they controlled with the purchasing or the contracting. So when we say the leader in the space,
There it is.
the leader in the space, right?
Yeah.
So we'll always keep an eye on the leader in the space and what's going on there, because things tend to follow the leader in the space. Maybe they'll lag a little bit, maybe they'll front run a little bit, depending on new specific stuff, but that's the deal with CCJ. Real quick. Okay, so Silex. We had a request in the TheChartGuys uranium room to take a look at this company. So Silex, real quick and fundamental wise, we're not going to go deep. We're not, but Silex is an Australian company, and they have ownership of Global Laser Enrichment. They own 51% of that company. Guess who owns 49%? CCJ, Cameco, right? So again, the leader in the space. They got Westinghouse. They now have a piece of Global Enrichment, Global Laser Enrichment, and Silex has 51%. So Silex, there's a couple of things that you need to know about Silex. First of all, I have a position in Silex. We can talk about that later in the trading portion of our thing, but it also has two F tickers associated with it, which is SILXY, right?
Yep.
And SILXF. So what's the difference between the two tickers? Well, the Y ticker represents 5 shares of Silex, SLX, which is on the Australian exchange, and the F ticker only represents 1 share. So that's kind of the difference between those two OTC tickers. So the Y is 5 and the F is 1. Okay. So they also have, and I'll link down in this video the their website that you can go to, but they this laser enrichment technology, if it takes off, it's going to transform the whole enrichment process for uranium across the board. It may actually be able to have uses with other isotopes. It remains to be seen on that, but they have some deals with the United States Department of Energy to keep their technology kind of secret. So these guys may have a little bit of a moat as far as that's concerned. Time will tell on that, but there are some deals going on with Australia and the United States as far as keeping this technology kind of under wraps. So it's a good one to keep an eye on in the enrichment space, and that's the deal with Silex right now.
Well, one thing that is for sure with all of that is the chart is pretty much one of the most bullish charts in the uranium space right now. I've got it pulled up here. We're looking at the monthly, and you can see we're going to new highs. On this monthly, we've got an EMA rider. We're just riding the monthly 12 EMA, and as long as that is intact, bigger picture, it remains plenty strong. And if we go into the 2-day here, you can just see this absolute beast of a move off of a double bottom down here. And actually, that might have been a slight bear break without follow through. Let's see. Yeah, it was. So slight bear break without follow through. And that's an important technical concept. Anytime you see, we've talked about it in the show before, but if you see a bear break, that's supposed to be the go sign for bears to see more downside. And if you don't see that, that can be a sign to look the other direction. And obviously, you can't anticipate just a straight 2-day stair step off the low for, let's see how much, 75% clean. So super impressive there. Obviously, we're really hot right now, but this has clear relative strength compared to the rest of the space. If you look at these tops here, so September 2021, April 2022, and then September 2022. If you go over and compare that to the CCJ chart, these are the same relative tops. September 2021, April 2022, September 2022. So that's how you know they're correlated. But the clear relative strength here is notable as this just continues to chug along to new highs. So we're coming into some resistance. We got 478 and then really nothing up until 650. But
so yeah, give me the chart for a second, Joe.
Yeah, let's.
So I'm going to detail this trade right now. So I took a position. I'm almost 100% positive it was 293. So I got it somewhere right in here. I sold half of my position, literally at 4. So right into here, into this resistance. I was looking at this pivot here, and I sold right into this resistance. So now I have a stop that will keep me in profit below this entire low. So I'm pretty comfortable here. I'm going to hang on to that, and I'm going to see how things react down here. So I'm sitting in this position now, very, very comfortably into profit. And I did post this up in the Reddit room, and some guys, the Reddit uranium squeeze room, some guys gave me the business on it, but you know what? Whatever. I'm comfortable in this trade now. So
yeah,
that's the deal with that on Silex. One more thing that I failed to mention, which we will mention. Sweden, it looks like they're looking to lift the ban on uranium mining in their country. So Sweden, if you want to play this. The Swedish play, it's a company called Aura Energy. So AEE on the ASX, and it's AUEEF on the OTC ticker. So you play the OTC name, they're not DTC eligible, so you're going to get banged out with the $50 extra fee. And this is like a micro cap. So you got to be careful with that one. And it's not like it's confirmed that Sweden has done this. They're talking about doing that. So my understanding is, with the small amount of fundamentals I've done on Aura Energy, this mine, this deposit that they have is supposedly pretty big. So if you want to start sniffing around at something like that, that would be the spot if you want to play this buy the rumor, sell the news play, possibly, who knows. But just remember, it's a nasty little micro cap, and there's very little dollar volume in it.
Yeah, definitely got to be positioned small on a name like that, because not only is it capable of seeing really volatile moves because of how little dollar volume it takes to move it, if you put in a big position and you need to get out, sometimes there's not people to buy your shares. Yeah. It's like we get used to trading these names on big exchanges where if you want out, you just hit one button and you're out. But you get in something super illiquid, sometimes you just can't hit that button without mogging it down 10% or something like that. So that
well, we'll keep an eye on it for now, and we'll keep an eye on that news to see how that plays out. Right now, it's very preliminary, so it's highly speculative to be jumping into this name. But it may work out, it may not. Who knows?
Yep. Whatever you do, manage your risk, and that's all we can do as traders. So yeah. Is that you got any other juice for us, Chris?
No, that's it. I mean, we know the space had a great week this week, so, and I'm sure you're going to cover it in your chart nerd technical schmeal that you got going on now.
Yeah, I keep looking over here.
Do I need to grab the sponge? That's really the question. You know, I'm gonna grab, just in case. I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna grab the sponge.
Get it ready. I keep looking over here. My cat is messing with me. I might have to hop off here and see what the heck he needs if he doesn't chill out. But we'll try to keep the show on the road for now. Let's run through this rundown pretty quickly. So we'll start with the S&P 500. We know we're watching this potential 2-week inverse head and shoulders, and zooming into the daily here, we had a bit of a red flag this week. The depth of this pullback was a lot deeper than what bulls wanted to see to keep this move going strong. And, you know, on Thursday evening, it was looking like high odds that a weekly lower high was going to be set here. But after the super strong rebound on Friday, bulls are hopeful that they can maybe recover this. So we'll have to see. Do we get a lower high set from here? And ultimately, can bears confirm a daily downtrend? And what Friday's bounce did is it gave bulls enough room to try to defend this support, because we're up and over the halfway point of this pullback down. So we'll have to see what we get. Obviously, if bears confirm a daily downtrend here on the S&P 500, that would weigh on the uranium space. So bulls want to see ES get up through 40, 35, 25 to keep this 2-week inverse head and shoulders in the cards, because otherwise we'll be looking at, say, like a, go to the weekly, we'd be looking at like a weekly tightening range. So we'll be keeping eyes on that. Another thing we will be keeping eyes on, and get your sponge ready, Chris. So talk about it every week, the URA SPY ratio chart. It's my personal top guide in the sector, helped us get these bottoms back here. And now as we tighten on up in this equilibrium with higher lows and lower highs, the question is, are we going to get another lower high here, or are bulls going to be able to break out? People aren't going to like to hear it, but I would say the most likely scenario is still a lower high on this chart. So that doesn't mean I'm YOLOing into bear positions or anything like that, but it just means open up your mind to the possibility that this momentum wanes and we set some lower highs. So people will call me a fun sponge. People aren't going to like it. But here's the thing with something like this, the larger time frame chart just tells you to prep your mind, keep your mind open to the possibility of that lower high. But at the end of the day, you need to see confirmation of that on the smaller time frames. And when we zoom into the daily here, as we were talking last week, watch out for weekly consolidation, because we were seeing some signs of UEC slowing down, U.UN slowing down a bit, and we got that weekly consolidation. I keep clicking the wrong one. So to the weekly here, we got our weekly consolidation with the break of the low of the previous week, but our guide that we were talking about of the daily 12 EMA held its support, and then bulls
Still holding.
Yeah, still holding, and V-shaped it back to new highs here. So
great recovery.
Yeah, it was a great recovery, and that's all that matters at this point. And essentially, step one of shaping up that monthly lower high would be the loss of this daily 12 EMA. So as long as the 12 EMA is intact, then bulls are fine. And there's nothing saying we can't just continue to wiggle on up and then get through resistance here. But we have to be cautious of the possibility that we do pull back and then come down and do something like that. So technical analysis isn't about predicting. It's about knowing what signals to look for to then react to. So, Chris, I'm going to have to step off here and let my cat outside. If you want to entertain, sing a song for everybody.
No, give me the screen.
All right, yeah,
give me the screen.
Let me pop the screen over, and
yeah. So I'm going to talk. I'm going to review my trades that we've had on for a while. So URNM, we'll go to that first. We all remember I was in this for a while, and my stop was below this gap fill. So I have not been stopped out. I am still in position here, looking to see what's going to happen with this 35.81. But I'm still in position. So it held. My stop is just below here. I forget off the top of my head what my exact stop is, but we're still riding this daily 12 EMA. I made this entry off of that, if we all recall, the daily falling wedge and the potential of the inverse head and shoulder, which never really fully played out because it just kind of went on without me. So I'm glad I'm still in that half position on traders. I'm still holding a core. I'm looking to see what happens with this pretty big resistance line here, because then we've got some room to make some runs. Okay. So UUUUU stopped me out. I got hunted on this stop hunt. I think I was 642 was my stop area. And, you know, if you recall, I was in at 652. I made some trims up here, and then I raised my stop on the partial on that position just so I could stay stopped in profit. So it was a small profit, but there was zero loss, still holding a core. But typical of a uranium name to come and sneak in and stop you out, and then just make like a 7 or 8% move the very next day. So is what it is. I mean, that's my trade. I'm still holding the cores. I will look to play off this level again, perchance if it kind of starts to pull back on it. But that's where I am with UUUU. NXC, as we all know, I had a position. I did a lot of trimming because I am still always playing this range. I made an ad. I think I posted in a room. It might have been Thursday, but it was this day. What was this day? Thursday. Yeah. So I made an ad at 442. So I nailed that there. My stop is going to be below this low, but not much. But you can see, I mean, we're still holding above this 200-day moving average, which is, you know, I'd like to, if it gets down here, I'll probably stop out on this ad and then see how it reacts back down at the bottom of this range, where I would actually, you know, add much larger size. So I still have, I still sold calls on partial position. So those are still playing out, and we'll see how that works out. The newest ad I did this week, and I posted that in the room, was LEU. Now it's lagging this move a little bit. LEU is a tough one, and I've made many comments about how it can rip your face off both ways. But again, just conceptually, this look is what I was looking at, right? So on this daily, and Joe will probably go to the 2-day, but we've had this little bit of an inverse head and shoulders, and lo and behold, at this low, it's right at these lows. So it's a little bit of a right shoulder there. I can tell you, I actually wrote it down this time where I added 3452 is where I got in, and I'm going to put my stop below this area here. So I'm working off this level, this 32 level, and I will trim probably 30% of the position when it gets up into this resistance area, as I did the last time I made an entry. I think it was somewhere off of here. I did make some trim up here somewhere. I will trim again, and I'll probably raise my stop after that to be in profit both. So right now I'm working off of this level, and it's about like a 60% position. So I will probably add if it comes down into here, but then I will stop out once 32 comes around. So that's those are my existing trades at the moment. Silex we talked about already, and that's where I'm at. How's the cat, Joe?
You know, he's a cat.
Yeah,
so,
of course.
Yeah, if we weren't 23 minutes into the video, I'd have some things to say about that inverse head and shoulders, but we'll just keep the show on the road.
Yeah. Well, if you want me to go to the 2-day?
No, it has to do with the neckline. I guess we'll talk about it.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is not by any way, shape, or form obviously a perfect head and shoulders. So I'm being conceptual. God, yeah, I see your tool is coming in.
I would say that if we were looking at an inverse head and shoulders type dealio, it would have already played out here.
It would have been there. I knew you were going to say that.
Horizontal neckline, because once you break above that neckline, then it's technically not an inverse head and shoulders anymore at that point. But the trend analysis remains similar. It's kind of more nitpicking like details. So
my basic concept for this trade was that it came back down to this level, and held as support.
Yeah, and that's and that's a great trade. And if you look at the weekly, you're just looking for a weekly higher low ultimately, if I'm not mistaken there. Can you pop it over to the weekly? Let's see. Yeah. So you had 3 weeks of bounce and then consolidation, plenty of room for a weekly higher low, and you're just looking for that healthy weekly higher low.
Yeah,
So
I mean
bulls
that's
will,
kind of where I'm at, because if it takes out this resistance here, there's a little bit of runway, you know.
yeah, yeah. So
So I'm with LEU, I'm always very cautious, and I manage risk with size on this one, because this thing can just destroy you. And if anybody's been following me playing LEU, they know I've been through it already. I got smoked on this
the
on this
earnings,
earnings report, and I recovered from it because I had it down here and I was able to trim out of it. But
it's
same
a
deal.
beast. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one because of the float. So it is what it is. I mean, it's I've been saying it for like 2 years in a room on LEU. It's a face ripper in both directions, so you got to be careful. But that's all I've got, Joe.
All right, I'm gonna take back here and just really quickly rip through the rest of the technicals, and then we'll wrap this thing up. So, U.UN talking last week about how watch out for weekly consolidation. We've got that weekly consolidation, but as we've been saying, if these EMAs hold as support, it will remain healthy. Got bulls bouncing off of them right now, so what we'll need is a daily trend change from here to set a weekly higher low with confidence. So overhead resistance 1640 and ultimately 1669 if bulls want to confirm a weekly bull flag. So CCJ enjoying big time relative strength held the daily 12 EMA, which was going to be our guide for health on consolidation, and quickly confirmed a weekly bull flag. So definitely one of the leaders in the space technically at the moment right now. But like the URA SPY ratio chart, we'll have to watch out for the potential of a monthly lower high. But also like the URA SPY ratio chart, there won't be any signs of that shaping up until this daily 12 EMA is lost. So that makes low of Thursday 2439 the most important level in the short term. UEC, definitely one of the weaker names in the sector right now after being one of our leaders off of this low, but bulls buying up the dip, looking to set a weekly higher low. And similar to U.UN, bulls are going to need to see a daily uptrend reconfirmed to set that weekly higher low. So lots
Yeah.
of room
So
for a weekly lower high here, or
on
a daily lower
UEC,
high.
I'm still being stingy. I'm not. I haven't added yet because I want to get a better entry. But if I do, I'll detail it. I'll call it out when I
Yeah.
do it. But I haven't yet, and I don't really have much interest yet.
Yeah, just a general note for all of these names, we're range bound on all of these. So when we get to the highs, everybody wants to get bullish and buy, and when we get to the lows, everybody's bearish and wants to sell. But as if you're actively trading, you've got to flip that natural instinct. So these moves are great, but the time really to add positions was a few weeks ago when we were detailing the momentum shift that was looking to play out. And now, if you're adding positions up here, you just got to have a tight stop. It's not saying you can't add up here, but knowing that the bigger time frames are potentially looking for lower highs, then you got to just keep your risk defined there. So we'll keep moving through. We're at 28 minutes, so we'll wrap it up by 30. NXE, similar dealio, deeper daily consolidation than bulls would have wanted to see, but big old day on Friday. So the question will be, do we get a lower high compared to 475, or can bulls do what CCJ did and break on through? And
Somebody in this video nailed that dip, though, right, Joe?
yeah, Chris nailed it. And I mean, we were looking for weekly higher lows, and it's right off the 12 EMA. So it's that's a good dip to buy. And now we know if bears are going to be confident in any or follow through on weekly consolidation, they need to confirm a downtrend. And at this point, with the bounce on Friday, that's very difficult because support's quite a ways away there. So great dip buying across the space, including UUUU. We got that weekly consolidation underway by breaking 643. but obviously very little follow through. And now bears, it's going to be super difficult for them to defend this resistance and come back down through 636. And that's because of the ground that they have to cover after a 7% day on Friday. So we know we're watching this UUUU URA ratio chart. We got up and over the 2-day 12 EMA, which was our resistance. Then, as we were saying last week, you bottom fish the low, and then you look for the trend change. So the laggard action will really get underway if we can get up through this high here. And they want to do what CCJ did. It was very similar, except the pullback was healthier here on CCJ. You get up and over, you fish the low, then you get the trend change, and then that's when your relative strength is really present. So that's the quick rundown, and that's all I've got this week. Chris, you got anything else this week?
Over and out, buddy.
Over and out. Have a great week, everybody, and we will see you next week.
See ya.
Peace.